dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up. Right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up. Right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center.
B.O.D. Get the spell check, a fact check, and prevent errors going up. See the bent lever, jalapeno hot, y'all just red peppers. All y'all copping copies, but I'm left center. And your shorty glitching on me like a text center. Hit her with a French tenor. Crazy, wait until I do the next record. I leave head severed. I don't need to hit the bench ever. But if I do, I'm PRing to the next level. Condo flights to Lufthansa. Already know who you people fans of. Call me Big Daddy in a big body Wrangler. Call me Big Daddy Adam Sandler. Bullseye, aiming for a cottage with a poolside, full size.
Always showing up. Right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up. Right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center.
Possibly get that 100 today, Sheepus. Maybe.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up. Right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center.
B.O.D. Get the spell check, a fact check, and prevent errors going up. See the bent lever, jalapeno hot, y'all just red peppers. All y'all copping copies, but I'm left center.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's time!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Wrestling with Toxicity. I'm your host, Super Beer Vince Hoover, joined today by a very special guest, the Booker Jason Hoover. Kel McCosplay, who's normally here with me, had something to take care of, so he had to go do that, but Jason gracefully stepped in. And we are here for our flagship podcast, the Geeks and Noobs Podcast. That is what the TGN stands for, TGN Networks. We are all geeks and noobs in something or another. We talk comic books, movies, TV shows, it's the like, all here on this podcast. We do obviously have a very special topic, or not special, pertinent topic to talk about today, and that is the Sony Marvel Pictures, including the upcoming Kraven the Hunter film, which we're going to dive a little bit deeper into. Now, of course, I'm coming to you live from this TGN Network studio, brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best place to get your tickets for anything when it comes to concert tickets, wrestling events, sporting events, comedy shows, you name it, they got it. Their easy-to-use color-coded system is the easiest one to use. It'll give you the best deal possible, and use the code SUPERBEARD at checkout for 20% off your very first purchase. Now, like I said, Sony Pictures has released the Kraven the Hunter trailer insanely. Like, from the shoot, this has been a weird thing. One, the last trailer was released like in December of last year. Like, it was released a long time ago. The movie's coming out in December, so this is roughly about the time you maybe drop your first teaser trailer. But this is a full trailer. But they dropped it at 3 o'clock in the morning. That makes no sense to me right off the bat. How long did it take you to do all that smoothly? Took me a few weeks to get it down. Exactly, Elena. Geek about some things, noob about other things. And that is, there's no gatekeeping whatsoever. That's the whole point of what we do. I don't care if you've been watching movies and reading comic books for 50 years or 50 minutes. You're a fan, and you're just as valid. I mean, true, sheepish, but the biggest market for movies, there's two huge markets for movies, and that's China and that's America. And America is their biggest market because that is their home market. I don't gatekeep recipes. All my recipes are up on
our Discord.
That's what it's called. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they're up on Discord.
Yes.
And Geeky Kitchen will be coming back. I know I keep teasing it and keep talking about it. It's been months. It's supposed to be back. It will be back. It's just, first of all, it's expensive, guys. Like, it's not cheap doing this stuff, buying the specialty stuff to do all this stuff. But it's also like trying to get my kitchen set up and everything, you know. But yeah. So they released the Kraven the Hunter trailer. It turns out it's going to be an R-rated film, which is what the Venom movies should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a plus. But I'm scared. I'm scared because of Sony's track record. The Venom movies, the first Venom movie made over $1 billion. It was a huge success, but not universally well loved. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's decent. I like to watch it. It's fun. It is what it is. The second one, they kind of dropped the ball, especially when you have a character so creative as Carnage. But by making it PG-13, that hurts. But then you have Morbius, which its only popularity came in how bad it was and it becoming a meme. And this is part of my proof, I think, of Sony being so out of touch. They thought the memes were a good thing, and they re-released the movie in theaters thinking it was going to make even more money. Like, really? Really?
Yeah.
You didn't want to think a little bit more about that? So that was weird. And then what I would say is arguably the worst film I have seen in the entire 21st century in Madam Web. Madam Web was what I could see us getting that film in that quality in like the early to mid 80s. And like one of those B-list Roger Corman film. Like, I don't even want to say Toxic Avenger, because Toxic Avenger is good. It's good because it's shit. It's good because it's campy and it's meant to be bad, so that's what makes it good. Madam Web is just bad. It's awful.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sony just doesn't care anymore, and they're only making movies to make sure they don't give back the rights to Marvel.
Yep.
And that's sad when they have, like, honestly, I promise you, if they reached out to Marvel, Kevin Feige specifically, and said, look, we would like your input on these. We'll give you 10%. It won't be the same deal as the Spider-Man ones, because we're going to do all the work. We just want you as a consultant. So consultant only this time. On all our other parts. On Spider-Man, it's a collaborative effort. When we make our Spider-Man solo films from here on out, collaborative effort. On the rest of our stuff, we just need you there as a consultant. That would be all they would need to do. and they could actually almost end up competing with the MCU in their success.
Oh yeah.
Kraven the Hunter is my favorite Spider-Man villain of all time and my favorite villain of all time. He's an incredible character. He doesn't get nearly enough love. And he's a bit sympathetic, but he's more of a villain for my wrestling fans in the chat. Similar to how like Drew McIntyre is right now. He makes points, but he's just a dick about it. What's up, Tommy?
Tommy, good to see you, buddy.
But like, legitimately, an amazing character. And they even have the tagline. It's on the posters. It's in the trailer. Everything. Oh, Sheepish, thanks for the sub.
Thank you.
The reality of it is, villains are not born, they're made. But if you watch that trailer, he is a Punisher-style hero and not a villain. Because he's going after his father's poaching empire. His evil father's poaching empire. And I did see a story today that Austin, I'm going to collaborate what you're saying here. Apparently, Sony is pushing all these movies out with all these different characters because the more characters that Sony uses first, Marvel cannot then use them. Like, let's say Sam Raimi had gotten his Spider-Man 4, in which case he would have used Mysterio. Well, no, because that was a Sony Pictures film, the solo one.
Yeah, well,
but any picture that Sony makes where a villain gets used or a Spider-Man character gets used, Marvel cannot then use that character. They literally only have access to Spider-Man himself. They had Scorpion teased, Shocker teased, but that's Homecoming, which is technically a Sony picture. No, he's legitimately injured, Jesus. That's been confirmed. I am okay with Rhino's face because of how the character is becoming the Rhino. It's not a suit. It is a mutation based on a formula. So I'm okay with his face also changing to the Rhino skin. I'm cool with that. And I actually like the look because I see the potential of the look. I don't think it's the finished product. I think they will like make it bigger. And I also don't think it's the finished form of the Rhino that we'll see in the movie because I don't think he's anywhere near big enough. He's still the size of a normal human. Well, maybe not normal. Like he may be like around like maybe 7 foot, but he should be like 8 or 9 feet tall. Like he should be massive. Top right corner. What are you talking about?
No, your thumbnail.
Oh, my thumbnail? That's Kraven. That's Kraven. No, it's just, and I'm not 100% sold. I'm not 100% sold on Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven, but I do really like him. And as a young Kraven, I think it works. Kraven, when he finally meets Spider-Man, he's probably already in his 40s. You know what I mean? So this being kind of an origin story, I'm okay with the age of Aaron Taylor Johnson, although he's in his late 30s. My issues with the trailer, like, as taking the Marvel stuff out of it. Take the Marvel stuff out of it. Take it as, let's just say it's a brand new character that Sony came up with, right? It's just a superhero adjacent film with a brand new IP. It's not Marvel related. Trailer actually looks really good. The action looks John Wick-esque, if not a little basic for the genre, but it looks like it'll be fun. And I still have a feeling that I'm going to go into this and have fun. My issue is that it's not going to be Kraven. And again, I'm okay with them making changes to characters that make sense. Like, I think the way Kraven was interpreted in Spider-Man 2 on PS5 is good. It's actually fairly comic accurate, to be honest. Like, they didn't change, like, the whole Kraven's Last Hunt, which I think is one of the greatest comic book storylines ever, is about Kraven realizing that he's dying and he wants to prove that he is the best hunter in the world and can take out somebody like Spider-Man, who he believes is the greatest prey. So even then, like I said, that was pretty much the character's arc in the game as well. I haven't played the game, but I've watched all the gameplay of it. I don't like that he just unceremoniously gets killed by Venom, but it is what it is. He's a character that I want to see come back, but he can't, in the games at least. But Kraven's not, I mean, he's not a villain in a traditional sense. Like, he's not looking for world domination. He's not wanting to rob banks and become rich. He is rich. He's just a hunter, and he wants to hunt. Like, he's so good at what he does that it's become boring, so he has to get stronger and stronger prey. And he's even hunted man, and even that's gotten boring, so now he's got to hunt metahumans, which is why he goes after Spider-Man. Spider-Man seems like the ideal target because he's somebody with spider sense and super agility and strength and blah, 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 blah. But, oh, my cats would lose. My cats are fat, lazy slobs. So my issue comes down to, like, I'm going to obviously go see the movie. Obviously. But, like, has Sony just given up?
It feels that way. I mean, legitimately, it feels that way.
We've got two Sony movies this year. Two.
Yeah.
We've got Venom Last Dance, and we got Kraven the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But neither one of those trailers make me feel like they care.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, Kraven killing off half the villains makes sense to me. Because in the game, he doesn't realize that Spider-Man is the ultimate hunt just yet. He's trying to find the ultimate hunt. And he believes that villains who are killers would be better prey, which is why he goes after those and kills them off. Also, it allows Insomniac Games to not get lazy and fall back on previous villains again. And it's going to force them to, in the next game, be even more creative with what villains they choose. But, like, Venom The Last Dance, I don't have a lot of hope for. I'll be honest. I'm going to see it. I will. But I don't have a lot of hope for it.
My problem is I think we've seen the best scene in the entire movie with Venom becoming Venomizing the horse.
Yeah. It also, like, it's the weird retcon of, like, how are they getting that symbiote that was left in the MCU universe? And they don't care. They don't care. Like, if it's not Spider-Man directly, be it the Tom Holland movies or the animated films, which that's Sony Animation. Like, that's not Sony Pictures. That is Sony Animation.
Right.
Which, yes, they all fall under the Sony banner, but they care. And they take their time and they make it good. Sony Pictures is like, no, we just got to get it out there. They only care about the Spider-Man solo films, but for some reason also they only care about they don't want Marvel to get the rights back. I mean, I guess they do realize how much of a cash cow it is, but, like, God, like,
actually do something worthwhile with it. No?
Again, there's one step needed, and that's for them to be like, hey, Kevin Feige, please be a consultant on these films. Here's 10%. Like, that's all it would really take.
Yeah. And the thing is, I had high hopes for Madam Web. I really did. I think the whole Madam Web story was really good in the comics like that. And it led to some pretty awesome villains too. But God bless America. Sony, what the fuck?
Yeah, again, that's the worst film I've seen since the turn of the century. But what I also like, personally, I thought like Madam Web, that's a incredibly strange choice.
Yeah.
That's a character that even in the comics, while gets some play, is more of a background character. Yes, she had like her own small run and everything, but at the end of the day, she's a background character.
Yeah.
That's part of like the multiverse of Spider People and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's like, so why they thought that would be the one to make your like, you should have introduced Madam Web at the end of a Spider-Woman movie.
Yeah. Not
you
this.
pick one of the Spider-Women that you had in that film, and instead of making them the side characters, you make one of them the main character. You make Madam Web the side character, because that is what she is. There are some characters that are just side characters, and that is what Madam Web is. But even then, like, if they had taken time and taken care with that film, they could have turned a lot of people's minds around.
No.
They just didn't. That absolutely horrific ADR on the villain who has the stupidest motivation.
Yeah.
There's so many things wrong with this film. And like I said, they did Carnage dirty, even though they got the best person to play Cletus Cassidy in Woody Harrelson.
Honestly,
Woody Harrelson in Natural Born Killers was just Cletus Cassidy before Cletus Cassidy.
Personal opinion, Sony should have started all these movies as R, like Morbius and Venom, all of them should have started as our property, because you could have done the stories properly, you know?
I think their main problem is they were worried because they didn't want to overstep the boundaries. They also, like, there is a fear when it comes to making a movie an R-rated film, because R-rated films limit your audience. And especially in the comic book genre, they think, oh, well, these are supposed to be, kids are supposed to go to these. But if you make it R-rated, they're not going to go. But then you get a movie like Deadpool and Wolverine that proves that, hey, billion-dollar franchise and an R-rated project. But it took how long to get us there?
True.
And it also took Fox fucking things up. And Deadpool being the only good thing to come out of that, despite Fox, and not because of Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. So we're talking about the Sony Marvel movies, Dead Gang. With the release of the Kraven trailer and everything going on, it's like, what is Sony doing? Like, did they just not care?
Yeah.
I don't.
Jacob, this is actually a throw rug. It's not a and I got it at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I just don't.
I don't understand. Like my opinion is Sony just doesn't have any love for the product. There's like okay, people find this popular, so we're gonna put money into it, so we get more money out of it, and that's it. It's like cooking without love. If you don't cook with love, the people taste difference.
Yeah, for sure. There is definitely that factor. That factor is real. That factor of Sony is not doing this for the sake of bringing these characters to life. Actually, apparently, Soto. So on Thursdays we do our Geeks and News podcast, but what I just learned earlier today, apparently TNA has pulled their allowing streamers to stream TNA.
Really?
Yeah, AJ
Wonder
sent me a
what?
message that apparently TNA is rescinding their permission to allow streamers to stream on Twitch and TikTok now.
Really?
I don't know much about it. We're trying to find out more details, but so
Okay.
I'll say this. So Dead Gang, again, I'll say this about the Kraven trailer. The Kraven trailer isn't actually bad. Part of the problem is that one, they released it at 3:00 in the morning, which means they had no hope for it. Two, it kind of flies in the face of its own catchphrase. The movie, right on the poster and right in the trailer, it says, villains are not born, they're made. But the whole trailer makes you think that Kraven is the hero of the film. Because he's going after illegal poachers and taking out poachers that are killing animals and stuff. And he's going after his father's evil poaching empire. As well as, there's, the gang stuff and the drugs and whatnot. Like, he's taking out all these bad people. And the people by his side are like, you're just as bad as your father because you're killing these men. I mean, let's be real. That's a terrible thought. And, like, the action looks good, if not a little bit cookie cutter for this day and age. It's very, like, tries to be kind of John Wick with a little bit more blood. But I mean, that should still be fun. I feel like this movie, if you can disconnect the love of the character and look at it like a brand new IP, then it'll probably actually be good. But they're just not paying any love to the actual character. It feels like, anyways.
So I have a feeling this might have the whole Joker syndrome thing where it's like if you eliminate all the references to Joker and Gotham and all that stuff from the Joker movie, it's a phenomenal movie about mental disorder.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Kraven has something similar to that.
Now, I will be honest. I do think there is a chance. That because they are allowing it to be R-rated and it should be fun and aggressive, that it might make a decent amount of money. It's coming out at the right time. It's coming out during the holidays, which is always a good time for movies. However, it is going up against, I think, two big pictures. I think one of them's like I can't remember what it is. There's a couple other pictures coming out around that same weekend that it's going to have to go against. So that could be actually detrimental for it as well. Happy early birthday. If you tune in tomorrow for our SmackDown Wrestling with Toxicity podcast, we'll make sure to shout you out for your birthday.
When's Kraven coming out?
I believe it's December 23rd.
So December.
I don't really watch AEW anymore. I watch the highlights and stuff, and I look into stuff, but like, it's just not enjoyable. So I don't. It doesn't do it for me at all. So I don't watch it. Jason has a bit of an
okay. So what's going on?
You have a bit of an echo. I don't hear it, but the gang hears it. I wonder why. That's weird.
I don't know. So Sonic 3 comes out December 20th. Mufasa, the Lion King comes out December 20th. Nosferatu comes out December 25th. December 13th, we've got a new Lord of the Rings movie.
And Mufasa was one of them. It was competing around the same time as Mufasa. And there was one other one that was like a big thing.
Sonic 3?
Maybe. That might have been it. Trevor, I will tell you that Heel Josh is not somebody you want to be associated with. There's a lot of bad stuff in that guy's past involving people under the age of 18, and that's all I'll say about that. But that is not somebody you want to be involved with. I wonder why you're getting a double echo over on YouTube.
I don't know.
Huh. I wonder why that is. You don't have it up on TikTok as well, do you, Dead Gang? Because that could be part of it. For some reason, it's not showing that the sound's even working. Now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
oh wait, hold on.
what?
I'm trying something real quick. I think I fixed it. Ashton, there was a whole thing over on TikTok with people showing evidence. Heel Kevin and a bunch of other people, and the person who was actually the victim came forward. And for some reason, like, people still follow Heel Josh. I don't know why. Even though, like I said, the victim came forward, there was evidence, tons of it, tons of receipts. Yeah, so I figured out the sound issue.
Well, what is it?
Let me check something. Hold on, let me try something real quick.
It's good now? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so for some reason it was doing double. That's weird. Okay. All right, hopefully that fixed it. Yeah. 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 Anyways, that was weird. What was I saying? Yeah, no, it's like it's coming out at a good time, but also a bad time because there's a lot of competition as well. But being R-rated, it does kind of put it in a category by itself, away from the kind of the kid stuff. So it might still be a good weekend for it. I could still see the movie making a decent amount of money, but also there's a lot of bad taste in people's mouths from Madam Web. So Venom: The Last Dance is going to make or break Kraven.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but yeah.
If Venom: The Last Dance is at least halfway decent, then people will go see Kraven. But if Venom: The Last Dance is not good, like if it's on level with Venom 2 or worse, Kraven's dead in the water before it even releases. And we're going to have like a Fantastic Four 2015 situation.
Yeah.
So latest rumors, and of course, Rebel, you know how I feel about rumors. You take this with a Mount Everest grain of salt. Ryan Gosling is set to play Ghost Rider in the upcoming Doom Dynasty and Secret Wars films.
Mm-hmm.
So he will be Johnny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider, which I'm okay with the casting. Like, I really like Ryan Gosling. I think it'd be fun. If you see Driver and just imagine him with a flaming skull, there you go.
There you go. So Venom: Last Dance comes out October 25th.
Yes.
Which gives you 2 months almost to screw over Kraven. I hate to put it that way, but that's how it feels.
Yeah. So there's a poll up in chat if you want to check that out. Which one do you think will perform better, Venom: The Last Dance or Kraven the Hunter? I don't know, man. I'm scared. There's a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Are you excited for Daredevil and Muse? Yes. Especially since the fact that they're allowing this to be a TVMA show. Muse is very much a character that needs to be TVMA. The guy is literally a character that is a serial killer who's also a graffiti artist, but he does graffiti with the blood and the remains of his victims. Like, he painted a mural with the blood of over 200 victims one time. This giant mural in Hell's Kitchen. He's a crazy character. He's got powers of some... Like, I don't truly understand his power base. But I know that one of his powers is that he does basically nullify Daredevil's sensory powers. which makes him one of the most formidable foes when it comes to Daredevil. And he's also possibly more bloodthirsty than Bullseye.
Please.
So it'll be an aggressive character. I'll be interested to see how it goes. So I'm looking forward to that series. And that's the thing, like, people complain about the most recent Marvel films. I personally love everything Marvel's put out, except with the only exception really being Secret Invasion. And even that, I saw the good in Secret Invasion when I found out a better way to watch it. When you watch it all at once, after watching it, like, you have to watch it twice, and that's not good. Like, you shouldn't have to watch it twice. But John Cena and Batista. I'm gonna cheat and use wrestlers that have already been cast.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, on Seth Rollins and The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe not The Rock, because Black Adam was not a good film.
I don't think that was his fault.
Quick thoughts on that. We can talk more about it tomorrow, lay low. But yeah, an AJ Styles Logan Paul WrestleMania match would be straight fire. See, that's it, like, but again, Marvel, like, a lot of people want to bitch, and it's still a minority, but it's still a lot of people want to bitch about the current state of Marvel films, and that, you know, it wasn't until Deadpool and Wolverine that they were back. You know, whatever, shut the fuck up. But Marvel has such a success rate that even with a few quote-unquote bad films, people still trust in Marvel to give you good products, and people still go in droves to see it. Sony, on the other hand, doesn't have that legacy. They don't have that to fall back on. The only good movies they have are the Spider-Man ones, and people know that Marvel and Kevin Feige are directly involved in that. I can't really name one cheapest because they're all good to me. I love Eternals. I think The Marvels is one of the most fun and refreshing films we've gotten in a decade. I love Multiverse of Madness. And I absolutely adore Thor Love and Thunder. I thought that movie was so much fun. Yeah, and these are all things that people want to shit on for some reason. Like I said, the only thing that I can understand the criticism of has been Secret Invasion, because that was not executed well. It is a series that you have to watch twice. And you shouldn't you should get it the first time through. But
like, if I want to watch something twice, that's a whole different story. But being forced to watch it twice is a completely different story.
It should make you want to watch it twice because it was so good, and not force you to watch it twice because, did I miss something? Did I not understand it? I need to go back and watch it with a fine tooth. Like, you shouldn't have to do that.
And the thing is, it's the confusion second watch is because you think you missed something, whereas there's the I'm excited to go back and watch because I think I missed something type thing. And unfortunately,
But
and if Marvel, if they would have just dropped it all at one time, I think they would have been better instead of doing the weekly drop off.
Like I said, when we got to the final episode of A Secret Invasion, I went back and watched every episode leading up, and I'm like, oh, this is actually, if you watch it straight through, it's actually good. So if I was to rank the Thor films, I would rank it Ragnarok, Love and Thunder, Thor 1, then Dark World. I like Dark World, but I do also accept that it is one of the lower tier Marvel films. There's a lot of problems with it.
I don't think the story was completed enough.
Yeah, I personally would actually, I know a lot of people put Dark World as at the bottom of the Infinity Saga. I would put Iron Man 3 at the bottom of the Infinity Saga for me. But the reality of it all is, again, even with Marvel having these quote unquote bad films, people still have their faith in Marvel because of what they did in the Infinity Saga and what they've given us. They still have given us way more good than bad. Sony does not have that luxury. Because yes, the 3 solo Spider-Man films have been good, have been very good, but they also have Marvel's entanglement involved in it. The first Venom made $1 billion, but people, in retrospect, think it's not a great film. The second Venom, not a good film. Morbius, absolutely fucking terrible. Madam Web, the worst film of the 21st century, most likely. So many promised pictures that never happened.
I think that's what pisses people off more than anything.
I don't think so, because a lot of the characters they wanted to push didn't make any sense. Like, why would you give us a Black Cat solo film? They had planned that before the game came out. Then the game comes out, and they cancel it. The game comes out and gives you both Black Cat and Silver Sable, which were 2 solo projects they were planning, with characters that are, for comic book fans, important, but for most people have no idea who they are. And then once the game kind of makes them popular again in the mainstream, they decide to cancel it.
Right.
You liked Madam Web, Rebel?
What?
He said the only Sony movies he didn't like was Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
He did.
Wow.
Rebel did.
How?
You are one of a million.
I try so hard to like everything, to go into it with a fresh mind and enjoy it. You have to tell me what you saw in that film that made you enjoy it. What is it about that movie? Because the thing is with that, the problem with that film is it's not just, it was a poorly written script, terrible direction, terrible editing, terrible CGI, terrible ADR, and terrible acting. Like, I never understood the hype around Dakota Johnson. She's the same person in every film, and she is this person who feels like she would prefer to be anywhere else in that moment than acting on screen. And that's every character she ever plays. It feels like she's just too good to be there, but she has to get the check. I feel like there's zero passion in any film she's ever made. So I really don't know what it is about that film that you liked. And I mean, to each their own. If you liked it, you liked it. I mean, I might have to reassess our friendship, but like, I'm kidding. But that's the thing. There was no real story to it either. If you really look at it from a storytelling standpoint, there's no real story to Madam Web. It doesn't make any sense. Hopefully, I get to go see Alien. There's a commercial playing on the screen here. There's an Alien. I'm hoping to get to see Alien Romulus tomorrow, and I'll do a Super Beards Movie of the Week review of it. I was gonna go see Trapped last week, and I'm glad I didn't. I have heard just nothing but awful things again from people I trust. So Thursdays is our comic book movies, comics, TV show, geeky stuff, Zeus. So thank you for being here. It's weird because M. Night Shyamalan films are a lot like Sony films. They nailed it with Spider-Man, right? He nailed it with Sixth Sense and then Signs and Unbreakable. The first few films he did, which I still think to this day, Unbreakable is one of the best superhero movies ever made. I love Unbreakable. But then everything else has just been like, what the fuck are you doing? what are you doing? Like, The Happening, that movie, ugh. The Village, I mean, The Village has its moments. It's okay.
Like The Village.
It's okay.
Until the end.
The Happening's awful. Old, not good. But I was really like, I was still like willing to give him the benefit of the doubt when it came to Trap. I liked where the trailers were going. I liked the premise. But as it turns out, the premise that we thought we were getting, that we're seeing in all the trailers, is only the first third of the film, and then it just goes a completely different fucking direction. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of glad I missed that, because I didn't want to be disappointed again. Yes, I did see that Doom's throne in Fortnite is basically the skeleton of the Thing.
Yeah,
it is the corpse of the Thing, and I was like, holy shit, that is such a bold thing for Fortnite to do, and I applaud them wholeheartedly. Oh, yeah. He left halfway through. Damn. Ooh. Austin, from what I understand, is that all of the Fantastic Four are dead in the Fortnite storyline. And like I said, that Doom has decided to make his throne out of the corpse of Thing. I guess that I think Johnny Storm is being used like his corpse is being used as like a battery or something. Yeah. I don't know exactly, but I'm looking forward to it. I wish my PS4 was working because I would play it. I'm going to have to play it on my phone, and I don't want to. But I'm probably going to. Even though I don't want to play it on my phone. Nathan, how's it going? Nice to see you. Yeah, so, like, I guess a quick question for chat as we get close to kind of wrapping this up. Again, we have Venom Last Dance coming out. We have Kraven the Hunter. Oh, that's true, Rebel. I probably could. I didn't think about that. You're right. I can play it on PC. But I also like to play in the comfort of my bed. I don't want to have to sit in here longer than I do. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Do you think Sony can course correct, or does it really feel like they don't give a shit? They're only doing it to keep the IP. They're only making movies so they keep the IP and they don't have to give it back to Marvel. So let me know your thoughts on that. Sheepish says they don't give a shit. Yeah, but then I have to like take my laptop out of here and disconnect a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to do that.
He's lazy, folks.
I am. I'm lazy. Again, I will say this. The trailer is good. Like, it's not a bad trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't go to any Sony movie with any kind of high hopes anymore. The question is, do you think Sony can get on track and start making good films outside of Spider-Man, like with the other characters? Or do they not care at all and they're literally only doing this to keep the IP and not give it back to Marvel? So they don't care what they make as long as they make something. I don't know. Like, I go into every Sony, like I said, I go into every Sony film with low expectations, and yet I'm still disappointed.
My thing is, it feels like the higher ups, the final say so people are just so out of touch with what's going on around them. It almost feels like Vince McMahon booking, you know? Like, I know what these people want better than they know they want, type thing.
I wonder too, like, I wonder, Because I have to also blame, I can't just blame Sony for this. I have to blame the writers and directors.
Right.
But at the same time, that blame starts to fall back on Sony because they're hiring these people without
Right.
like Marvel, when they hire somebody, they're very much like, they make sure they care about the character. They make sure that where the story is going fits with what they're doing. I think in Sony's case, they just hire somebody like, yeah, okay, you write stuff, you write this. Well, that's the thing, is like, Sony doesn't take the game seriously. Insomniac takes the game seriously, and Sony benefits. Insomniac, I got it. I've solved it. How Sony can save their Marvel films.
Yes.
Just use the fucking writers from Insomniac.
Yeah. There you go.
Use the writers that are writing the stories for the games as your writers for the movies. And also, Kevin Feige's a phone call away. He's a phone call away. Make him a consult. You don't have to give them the same deal they have on the Spider-Man deal. Just give him 10% as a consultant. That's it. That is how you solve this. You bring in the writers from Insomniac. You let Kevin Feige consult on the film as well as help you pick your director. That is true. Kevin consults on the games because he is a part of that, which also explains a lot. But bring in your writers from Insomniac. In fact, in all honesty, even if you don't want to make a connected universe, which I think Sony's kind of aware, like they're wary of making a connected universe, so they just kind of have things happening, and if they seem to connect, and they seem to connect, create a writer's room with the Insomniac people to write your movies. That's it.
Oh yeah,
that would work.
I like Tyler's answer to the problem. Call Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, let Shawn Michaels do it. But no, like, Austin, I have such high hopes for the Wolverine game. Such high hopes. And I know there was that leaked early gameplay footage that was out there that turned out to be fake. Just as I thought the second I saw it. Because it's not anywhere near what Insomniac's style is. I have high hopes for the Wolverine game. Because, like, even though I understand the complaints that come around the Spider-Man 2 game, and I've not officially played it, but I have watched the entire playthrough from multiple people, Jacksepticeye being one of them. Legit, like, yeah, like, I fully, those games are awesome. Like, I still think Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game for PS4, greatest game of all time, has the most replayability for me for any game I've ever played. And if my PS4 was working, I'd probably be playing it. But legit, like, I trust Insomniac, and I trust those games. I trust Sony Animation. And while I think Into the Spider-Verse, or Across, the second one, was it across? Was the first one Into and the second one Across, or was the first one Across and the second one Into?
No, first one was Into, second one was Across.
Okay. The second one, I don't think is as good as the first one. Still a very good film. Yes, I did see that season 2 of X-Men 97, they're going to get the Grant Morrison X-Men gear, which feels a little weird to me because that feels early, but that's okay. It's fine. It's just costumes. I highly recommend the Spider-Verse animated films. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal
They're both
films.
really good.
They're so good. Again, the second one, I think they tried too hard. And mainly on the animation side, They tried like, oh, we got to have this style and this style. There's so many. We can do all these different characters. And let's jump to this. And it became too frantic for the visual. Story's still there. Story is still there.
Personal opinion. I think they put enough content in one movie that they could have made it 2 movies. And if they would have made it 2 movies,
they did. You know that was originally one
better.
film, and the sequel coming out is the second part of the same film.
No. I'm talking about the second
film. It could have been 4. I know. What I mean is, the second film was supposed to be one movie. The sequel that's coming out, the third one coming out, was supposed to be It was supposed to be one film. It was such a big project they had to separate it into 2. They could have separated it into 4. Because I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So on that note, like, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Our Thursdays they're short podcasts. They're fun podcasts. We're going to go to wrap it up. Plus, I got something kind of big coming up tomorrow I got to do, and hopefully I can get to the movies after doing what I got to do. I got a surprise for everybody on SmackDown, so keep an eye out on that. Jason doesn't even know what it is. I'm not telling him either. He's going to be surprised just like everybody else.
However, ladies and gentlemen, a real fast, quick bit of information. I officially start working in 2 weeks.
Nice. Do you know your schedule?
Not yet. Okay. So, I am not abandoning you guys. I am, however, making the money. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see I may still have Tuesday nights and stuff like that, but we'll see. We'll see. Everything's going to be up in the air, man.
So yeah, I got a fun little surprise for you guys tomorrow. Not a big deal, but I do got to go take care of some things in the morning before doing that. But do make sure you tell your friends to come check it out. Make sure everybody's here. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us tonight. For special guest, the Booker, on a TGN Thursday. I've been Super Beard. You've been super awesome. We will see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Live. Bye, everybody.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up. Right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up. Right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center.
B.O.D. Get the spell check, a fact check, and prevent errors going up. See the bent lever, jalapeno hot, y'all just red peppers. All y'all copping copies, but I'm left center. And your shorty glitching on me like a tech center. Hit her with a French tenor. Crazy wait until I do the next record. I leave head severed. I don't need to hit the bench ever. But if I do, I'm PRing to the next level. Condo flights to Lufthansa. Already know who you people fans of. Call me Big Daddy in a big body Wrangler.